Now for another Muppet Thought of the Week. You know you're a fashion victim when you enter a room. People don't just gasp. Oxygen masks drop from the ceiling. Join us again next week for another Muppet Thought of the Week.
Animals like drinking! We're drinking. Cheers. One more. You know that song? Pretty good for the oil. Drink only variation. Fit your lifestyle.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Friday Night in the Bar. I'm Mastershake. You're the greatest people on the planet. I'm psyched to be here. We have 6 beers, like always, and a wonderful cocktail tonight. El Mariachi, a take on the wonderful Paloma, variation on the tequila sour, as it were. Before I get to the drinks, though, I have kind of huge news. As of today, for the first time in my 16-year career in education, I am Principal Mastershake. I'm in charge of my own building. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, I'm excited to be here. It's Friday night, but I want to share it with you guys specifically, in large part because it's been a really long journey for me to get here, and you guys are part of the Mastershake journey, the thing that is me. We spoke for a long time. I mean, really, on Mix Show this week about mental health, and anybody out there that's chasing your dreams, like, sometimes it can get grueling. And I just want to say, like, a milestone achieved for the Mastershake. So it was a big deal for me today, and I'm glad I got to share it with everybody. But what for you came for, right? 6 beers this week first. Let's get to our beers. This week's beers from Marshall, Michigan, we have Dark Horse Brewery, a brewery that was actually featured on TV. However, over time, they have scaled back a little bit in terms of that, I think. Rebranded a little bit, maybe gotten some different partners. They have one of my favorite IPAs, a really heavy citrus IPA called Rain and Blood, which is a take on the Slayer song, which I think is absolutely awesome. It's a good brewery. But like I said a couple weeks ago, as far as tiers in Michigan go, I wouldn't say that they're first tier. I like their beer. In some ways, I kind of like their beer better than New Holland. But they don't have the same clout for a lot of reasons. They don't take very many chances. They really don't. They're not an out there kind of brewery. They're not out there doing some of the stuff that somebody like Shorts or, next week's brewery, Oddside, like, they're not doing those aggressive things. And so in large part, they just make really good beer. And because of that, I'd put them like, 1A or whatever you want, or second tier, whatever you want to call it. I put them the next slot down. So if you're coming to Michigan, now the other part is that the brewery is in Marshall, which is the middle of absolutely nowhere. Where are you going? Nowhere. It's nowhere. There's you go to New Holland and it's right on the beach, and Oddside, it's right on the beach. You go to Shorts, it's in Bel Air, Michigan, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. Or like Jolly Pumpkin, at least you're down in by Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti and all of these like great places you can visit down there. Marshall is Marshall. It's a town of about 20,000 people. It's not really that, sexy or anything like that. And so visiting there doesn't have the same like oomph, so to speak. And because the location really isn't that wonderful, that impacts it too, I think. Fair. I love their beer. Like I said, I think I like their beer a little bit better in New Holland, but I'd rather go to New Holland. I'd rather go to New Holland for sure. It's by Lake Michigan. Why wouldn't you? You know? So the beers. Let's put our second screen up. See if we got any comments. We'll skip past the congrats stuff. Hot for teacher. No, you can't sing hot for teacher anymore. The Barstool sticker isn't up, Tim. It's in a drawer somewhere. I don't know where it is. It doesn't really fit with the decor. Yeah. Tim pointed it out. It's Holland and GR are two better destinations. To a certain extent, like I feel like the location makes the brewery and the people make the brewery. Now, it's not like, Marshall's full of bad people or anything like that, but all the places where I've been, I have a lot of nostalgia for those places. I'm biased. I'm not going to stand in front of you as a reviewer of these things and say that I'm not. I like fresh water, so being by the lake matters a lot. I don't know. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the same thing. There are no rules. Check it out. Go to Marshall. Drink their beer. They're one of the nicest people I've ever. They gave me 2 full flats. So that's 24 beers. 2 full flats of beer just for coming and hanging out and talking to their brewers. It was really nice. I'm so sorry I skipped past your well wishes, Ward. I'm so sorry, but I am just not. I'll be honest. They had to. They had to announce it today, and if anybody that knows me, I am not somebody that receives compliments very well. Thanks from the Scene Snobs. You guys sponsor me. It's wonderful. I don't receive compliments very well, and so it was a little embarrassing. But let's get to the beer. I'll show you the beers I got. 6 beers. Marshall, Michigan, Dark Horse Brewery. So I will say this. Out of the beers we've looked at so far, it's not high on the design list. Okay. First up, we have the Bafo Brown. And I mean, it's kind of cool. It's got like a little dragon on it. And here's their label, the Dark Horse. You see this? You got like a star and a horse next to it. Oh, it's reversed. Sorry. But this is the Bafo Brown. Comes in at 5.4%. It's a solid brown. Whoa, sorry. I got it mixed up. This one's at 7, so it's a heavy brown. 7%. It's not imperial, though. It's just a standard brown. So that's really high on the ABVs for a standard brown. It's good. Not the best brown in Michigan, but it's a definitely top side brown in Michigan. There are better browns, but not many. I will say that. Solid beer. Bafo Brown. Next up, this is a beer they brewed to kind of compete with Shorts and Founders. Founders has Rubaeus, which is this raspberry ale, and Shorts has their strawberry ale that does really well. This is just a raspberry ale, as they call it, and it's got a picture of hands with a raspberry on it. It's solid. I'm not one much for fruit. Clocking in at 5%, supremely drinkable. It is sweeter than I want it. For what it's worth, it's sweeter than I want it. So, but it's solid. Next up, this is their Amber. I've said this before on the show. Amber is a standard style of beer that really there isn't a whole lot that you can do with it. When I brewed my own Amber, I brewed it with maple syrup, and it gave it a little bit of different flavor, but that was about it, just like this much flavor. It's solid. In terms of saying what it is, it's not anything more than solid. It clocks in at 5.5%, like a lot of Ambers do. Very, very similar to Bell's Amber Lager. Okay? Or Amber Ale. Sorry, Amber Ale. I said lager. Apparently, I'm just making mistakes today. Their standard IPA. Every brewery has one, whether you're talking Huma in shorts or you're talking Mad Hatter or whether you're, whatever, like whatever you're talking. This is their standard. Crooked Tree, it's called. They have a whole flagship with this. The logo, again, I will say this logo looks a little bit better than the other ones, but I'm also partial to green. Lower on the ABV for an IPA at 6.5%. Some of the other ones we've looked at recently, like Centennial, clocks at 7.2, but solid. It's like solid 3.5. The best out of it. The Bafo Brown is the best beer so far. Now, they do a solid double. Okay, a solid double at Dark Horse. It's great. Not excellent. Great. This is double Crooked Tree. And so they've switched to a black label with a gold tree instead of the green label of the gold tree. But as far as doubles go, this was one of the first ones that I really was like, man, I always want that. I was always putting it into my pick sixes. Great double. Highly recommend. Now, to a certain extent, surprised to see this on the shelf, but I had to grab it when I saw it. Christmas time, Dark Horse has a beer that people seek out. And it's called 4 Elf. Got a nice little logo. It's all Christmassy. You got the white, the red, these weird Santas that look kind of like a throwing star. They do multiple different variations on this. Comes in at a hefty 9% for a Christmas ale, that's pretty heavy for a Christmas ale. Has slight variations on that ginger flavoring that you get out of a lot of Christmas ales. Frankenmuth Christmas ale is probably the best in Michigan, but second best would be 4 Elf. They also do a barrel-aged 4 Elf, which comes in at 14.1%. It is a punch in the face of ginger. If you like ginger, that gingerbread like flavoring, you'd really like it. Okay, that is ginger forward. But 4 Elf is a solid beer that people seek out around Christmas time, and I was pretty happy to say it or see it. Sorry. I didn't like out of the breweries. I like Dark Horse. I just wish that it wasn't in Marshall. If you make your Michigan map, a lot of the breweries that I like, oh shocker, they're right here along the coast. Where is Marshall, Michigan? Dead center. That's Marshall, Michigan, just south of Lansing, which is just as unremarkable. Right here. That's Marshall, Michigan, and there's just not a lot of reason to go there. Not gonna lie, it's not a supremely destinationable place. So if it were somewhere else, I'd probably feel a lot stronger about it. But because it's not, I don't. Brewery wise, second tier, I give it a solid like B plus. A lot of good beers on tap there. I wish I could have found Rain and Blood. That is a top-notch beer in my opinion. But they didn't have it. Strong orange flavor for an IPA. It's really solid. That's like an A minus beer. But what I have here, 4 Elf, probably your go-to Bafo Brown year-round. Great brown. Top 3 brown in Michigan. But solid brewery. Check them out. I give it 3.5 stars. Maybe 4 stars. So, yeah, I know, Hannah. Some of them do, right? But the weird part was when they announced that Dark Horse had their own TV show and it lasted for 2 seasons. I was like, Dark Horse? Come to find out, the people behind it were Roke, which those of you that are in the chat that know Michigan, Roke Brewing is a subpar brewing company, in my opinion, that has a ton of money. And they've invested in a lot of other breweries here in Michigan. Taxman Tim in the chat there, he lived in Royal Oak for a while. And he'll tell you, it's okay. Just not knocking out of the park. So 3.5 stars. I'm standing on it. Not 4 stars. 3.5 stars just because it's in Marshall. Sorry, Dark Horse. 3.5 stars. Now, our drink of the night. El Mariachi. Take on the Paloma. Pretty excited about it. We got our ingredients here. Let me lift up a little bit. shaker, of course, like always. So the big variation that we're going with, instead of tequila, we are using mezcal tonight. We've used mezcal before on the show. Oh, that light is playing with this. Hey, sorry, dude. Like, what do you want from me? Am I wrong? What are you going to do? They're devil dog stout or triple? What are you going to do? Like, nah, it's okay. But I'm not a stout guy either. Tim likes stouts. Sorry, I'm just not a stout guy. I prefer double and triple IPAs. So, I mean, like if you prefer stouts, maybe you would really like Rogue. But tonight we're going with Creyente, which is a they call it an artisanal mezcal, okay? But more important, you got to pay attention to whether it is Añejo or Joven. This is a Joven one. I wanted the smoky flavor, not the barrel flavor. So we got a young mezcal here that is pretty smoky, okay? And that's intentional because the rest of the ingredients, because of the Paloma, we got our freshly squeezed grapefruit juice. I am not squeezing it fresh on the show just because, like, time constraints. It takes a while to deal with these. Tahine. Yes, tahine. The seasoning. No, it's not going in the drink. This is going to go around the rim of our goblet. You know, usually I'll drink a sour or a stout out of this. Maybe, Ward. I do love alcohol. I don't know. Sometimes, as long as it gets you drunk, right? Buy that for $1. Hooey! So we're going to rim this, the cute butthole jokes, rim this with our tahine seasoning. We're using a muddler for the first time in a long time on the show. I'm actually excited. I haven't muddled anything in a long time. Muddler tonight on the show. Got my simple syrup, you know. My homemade simple syrup, Taxman Tim. Homemade. You need a garnish that features quarter slices of grapefruit juice. Or not grapefruit juice, sorry. Grapefruit fruit. Grapefruit fruit? Is that redundant? Grapefruit fruit? Anyway, you need quarters of it. Got 2 limes. One's for garnish. One's for juice. Club soda. We're topping our cocktail off today with club soda. Of course, got your knife. Press. Tight strain today. We want no ice in the drink other than what we're putting in it. We got a lot of fruit juice here. Don't add more ice in than you need to add in. Cocktail spoon, like always. Jig. Jalapeno business. And my secret ingredient for this drink, cilantro. That's right. Cilantro. I know. It tastes like soap. Don't overdo it and you're fine. Okay? First, let's start with the bottom part of our shaker. What do we want in there? Chopped up jalapenos. Toss them in. Let's tip this up a little bit so you can see me do everything. There we go. Chopped up jalapenos. 2 decent-sized sprigs of cilantro. Okay, and you see I got this. These are garnishes right here, so we're pushing these off to the side. We need 1 full lime, and if you want to know the measurement because you're not using fresh lime juice like I am, we're looking at 0.25 ounces of lime juice, okay? These are small limes. I'm thinking this is going to be a good measure of it. Now, you want to put all of your stuff in there ahead of time before you muddle. 2 reasons. 1, you actually want to get those ingredients profused into whatever liquids you're using. You notice I don't have any ice in there yet. 2, okay, when you muddle it inside there and you get your tight strain so nothing comes into the drink, you actually want to get the smallest pieces possible, believe it or not. Okay, I know that sounds weird. We're already using a tight strain anyway, but you don't want big chunks in there because it's going to affect how you strain the drink out. I mean, it's kind of a simple thing, okay? You just want to make it easy on yourself. Put your lime juice in there. Next up, we got simple syrup. We need 0.5 ounces today of simple syrup. So give yourself half an ounce of simple syrup. I get my jig out. Give it a toss in there. 0.5 ounces of simple syrup. We need 3 ounces of fresh grapefruit juice. So we're going to do the other side. Let's do the 2 ounce side. That's 2 ounces. Man, grapefruit juice always smells really strong to me. And 1 more ounce of grapefruit juice. Okay. Oh, I got some left over. That's good. There we go. Your Hoven Mezcal, you want 2 ounces. So you basically got a 2 to 3 ratio here of juice to liquor, not including everything else. Okay. 2 to 3 ratio. Let's muddle. I haven't muddled in a long time. Remember, small pieces. Get it in there inside the liquor. Okay. Smallest pieces as you can. We're already using a tight strainer. Like, you can check this out. It's really, really, I'm not using the wide one today. It's really, really tight strain. Okay. So don't worry about that. Just get small pieces so that way you make the straining part on you easier. You don't want to get caught inside the ring. You know, I like to give it a little spin like this. It kind of gets everything off the end of your muddler. Ice. If you don't know now by now, you should. 1 crack cube, 1 whole cube. Say it for Katie. Spank that ice. Nice little crack there. 1 whole cube. Now we're going to shake it. Good tap. Now, before we strain it, we have to rim our goblet, right? Boom. Cheater way to do it. Take your lime that you have, give a nice little wipe right around the rim of your glass, like so. Try not to get it all over the place. Now, take your tahini. Give a nice little and no, we're not doing cocaine ward. A nice line of tahini. Now, I've showed this before on the show. Roll and dab. Roll and dab. Roll and dab. Don't just roll it. You won't get as good of a rim. Cue butthole jokes for the second time. So we've had tight strain and rims so far today. Lovely. Pretty good rim on there. Look at this. Pretty decent. I'm not going to snort it, dude. It's tahini. Now, we're using 2 kinds of ice today. We got our round spherical ice. We're not reusing the ice. Okay. I'm going to put both of these, got 2 of them, in my lovely little glass because I want it chilled. Tight strain. Do not do this over the edge. You will ruin your rim. I warn you. Hey, the basement hides its secrets. You're going to get a really pale pink color, which is exactly what you want. And you're going to fill it halfway. That's the goal here, halfway. So we are exactly where we need to be. Look at this. Not too shabby. It's almost like I've done this before. Now, club soda. Top it off. Anytime that you top a drink off, I said top, man, I am just full of it today. Make sure you give it a stir with your bar spoon. Now, we need our lime wheel for our garnish. Just like so. Give it a nice little cut. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't want to. There we go. We need our grapefruit garnish. Grapefruit fruit. We're just going to give it a nice little pink color. And our lovely sprig remaining for the cilantro. And what you have left with is El Mariachi. A beautiful, colorful drink. It's getting warm in Michigan already. But a little hidden secret. Kind of spicy. Oh, and it is good. So the mezcal is a much better choice than tequila in this drink because when it blends with the jalapeno, and you notice I only put 3 little cubes of jalapeno in there. Jalapeno can be really overdone when it comes to a cocktail. So we have the citrus flavor of the grapefruit juice balancing out the smokiness that comes with the mezcal, that punch in the mouth that comes with the jalapeno, but this little secret little like cilantro kind of wiggling in between it. This is a complex cocktail. Perfect if you are, it's 1 p.m., you're sitting on the beach and you want to pretend that you have a guitar that's actually a gun. Salud. Oh, this is good. What a great drink. Look at the colors on it too. Like, I'd serve that in the bar all day and twice on Tuesday. Man, I'm proud of this one. 5 stars on this one, ladies and gentlemen. El Mariachi is a drink to drink.
Well, sir, I wanted to jump on because it's a very special day. I don't care if you like your accolades or not. You deserve them. And
not too good at it, Mick. Not too good at the accolades.
Well, I get to say them. And with everyone watching, I want everyone raise a glass to the man, to El Principal.
It's director en español. Director.
Congratulations to you, sir. Cheers.
I appreciate it, buddy. And let me get my shot ready then. Let me get my shot ready, and you can stay on while we do the shot, okay?
No. This is your time to shine. I just want to say congratulations. Well deserved. You do your shot. Love you, buddy. Just all the luck. Congratulations to you, man. I just love you, brother.
And tune in tonight for the Outcasts. I'll be on that show too. Shot tonight in celebration. One of my favorite shots is just a shot of Jameson. I've heard it called El Guapo. I've heard it called the Scrooge McDuck, but it's just Jameson in a shot glass. To you guys, not to me. I don't cheers to myself. I love doing this show. I love making cocktails with you guys. I got a double tonight, by the way. So I'm not cheating. Don't worry. It's not, but that's a double shot glass. Part of what my job is to do Spanish immersion. So I'm going to do, in honor of El Mariachi, one of the best cocktails I think I've ever come up with on the show. And all of you, as well as my new job. Arriba, abajo, al centro, adentro. Salud. Oh, that's good. I'll be back next week. Same shake time, same shake channel. However, I might have a surprise next week. I am working on getting the head marketer for Odd Side Ales in Grand Haven, Michigan, to come on the show and talk about their beers. They wanted to be on the show today, but Grand Rapids Brew Fest is today, so they couldn't make it. So hopefully next week, Odd Side Ales, their head marketer, will tell us all about their wonderful beers and a brewery that I would definitely classify as a top-tier brewery in Michigan. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's our tight 30. 6 beers, 1 cocktail, some moderate entertainment, and you. Don't forget, it's drinking. There are no rules. Until further ado, next week. Sayonara.